Mikey Williams just exposed a huge secret about him and Amani Bates when they played together. Now let's get right into it. Now first and foremost, a lot of people are trying to say that Amani Bates and Mikey Williams, which are two of the best players in the country, of course, were beefing and they really weren't messing with each other. Now this is completely false. A lot of times when you have players that are high level, everyone thinks that just because you're not friends on the court means you can't be cordial off the court. And this is farther from the truth. Mikey Williams and Amani Bates are two excellent players and they both got buckets in that matchup when they played against each other. Now Mikey had around 19 points and Amani had about 22 points, but I think Amani really separated himself in that game and showed why he's one of the best players in the country, while Mikey Williams showed that his team can win games against top level competition. This was a huge point for Mikey Williams, showing what he could do against the best players in the country, and man, Mikey did not disappoint. Now, first and foremost, Mikey actually put this on his Instagram very recently. Got respect for you, my boy, at Amani Bates. Rooting for you, bro. You got it for real. Seeing greatness on the other side of the court too is fire. Keep working, gang. Love. And Amani actually responded with this. Now, it's great to see two of the best players in the country actually showing love to each other. Too many times when you have these high level and high ranked guys, they hate on each other and just want to tear another person down. When I see two of these guys going back and forth on the court, doing their thing in basketball, but also can be cordial and show love to each other when they have good games, even though Amani's team lost, man, that makes all the difference. Shout out to them two guys. But actually very recently, Mikey Williams actually posted an incredible tweet that made a huge point as to Mikey Williams and Lake Norman Christian that not a lot of people knew about. Now, Mikey Williams actually said this: "What's crazy is I've been playing with a pulled groin all season and nobody knew. I haven't been 100% since summertime." Now, this is insane because, of course, when someone's injured, they're not going to be playing 100% and at their best. And this means that it's going to affect their level of play, but also how their team does. Mikey Williams being a star player on Lake Norman Christian, of course, if he is not doing as well, man, the team may suffer because of that. And what do you guys think? A lot of games previously, Mikey Williams and his team were losing, and I even said it seemed like a lot of times Mikey Williams, one, his defense wasn't the best, and two, he really didn't seem like he was putting in a whole lot of effort and looked lackadaisical on the court. But this could be an explanation as to why. Now, he also said this: "Ain't been able to run full speed or make lateral movements as quick as usual or jump as high as I can. Groin injuries are literally horrible. LOL. Wait till I get back to my real self." Now, this is another point here. Of course, when we say Mikey Williams is playing lackadaisical, man, that is crazy that he's saying he had an injury this entire time. And it's really interesting, and I wonder if it's really affected his team in the long run. Of course, prior to the new year, Mikey Williams' team was taking a lot of losses. They were not doing well, and maybe this injury has gotten better and he's playing a little bit better and maybe feeling a little bit better so that he can help out his team more. But then on the other hand, of course, a lot of people were wondering how bad really was it if he was playing on the court all this time. Now, if he hasn't been jumping at his maximum potential, and we've seen Mikey Williams catching off the backboard alley-oops, dunking the ball, throwing it down, and he's not 100%, it is going to be a scary sight to see what this dude is at 100%. Imagine this is only around 50-75%. Man, if he starts feeling better and actually gets this taken care of, maybe we'll see another side to Mikey Williams that we have not seen in a very long time. Maybe he's going to be dropping even more points and doing more on the court than he has. But it's crazy that him and his team actually beat Amani Bates and Ipsy Prep, and he wasn't even 100%. So that shows how good Lake Norman Christian is, how good their overall team is. They have a lot of other pieces. Trey Green, Joyful Hawkins, man, a lot of these guys can go. And Mikey Williams, of course, cannot do by himself. He has to have a team. And man, shout out to them for catching that W. Now, Mikey Williams also went head-to-head against Robert Dillingham very recently. And Mikey actually had 24 points while Robert Dillingham had 19 points. Now, unfortunately, Mikey Williams' team did lose. But man, that just shows you that, of course, we don't know what all these players are going through, and you have to look at their individual stats. And of course, injuries are a huge factor to this. You could blame that injury as the reason why they didn't win the game, but at the end of the day, if he's been playing on it, I cannot say that that was the reason why. But I want you guys to let me know what you think about Mikey Williams' injury. Do you think that it's really held him back and made his team overall worse since he's not playing at 100%? And do you think it doesn't affect him that much because he's still playing on it? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, in addition to this, Sharife Cooper has back at it again and just dropped 19.7 assists and 3 rebounds in his most recent game against Vanderbilt. Now, if you guys don't know, Scottie Pippen Jr. is on Vanderbilt, and they have a decent team. But Sharife Cooper is showing again why he's an elite card, and this guy's going to get drafted for sure. At the end of the day, regardless of his flaws, which every player does have, man, he can get his teammates involved, and being at the point guard position, that's the most important thing you need to do. Of course, being able to score and get buckets is another thing, but man, I think this just shows why Sharife Cooper needs to be in the NBA. I think the consistency that he's brought across the board, man, averaging this many points per game and really scoring, a lot of times he's scoring double digits, if not 20 points per game every single game. And on top of that, getting assists and showing why he can get his teammates involved and showing that it takes a system to get the win. Sharife Cooper was really the missing piece of this team. Prior to him playing, the record was not too good and the overall team really wasn't doing well. It looked like they were missing a piece, but when Sharife Cooper came on the court and showed what he was made of and is getting his players involved and getting these guys buckets, throwing them alley-oops, he was the huge difference maker that really made this team come alive. Now, Sharife Cooper's team actually did win the game 73-67, but man, this is showing you why Sharife Cooper is an elite point guard and he's going to make the NBA. Of course, we always talk about his biggest issues. One, shooting the ball, especially the three-pointer. He has to work on that, as well as driving the ball too deep in the paint instead of floating the ball up and shooting a floater. Sharife Cooper has so many skills in his bag, and if he can add these two things into his game, man, he is going to be unstoppable on the court. He's going to be able to play with bigger defenders easily because when he gets to the paint, of course, as of right now, he likes to drive it and really take the contact and finish, but if he can float the ball up there and really show out and play against these bigger defenders, of course, when you get to the NBA, you're playing against a lot of 7-footers, man, he's going to be dominant in that game. Now, it's too bad we never saw the Sharife Cooper-Jalen Green duo, but man, that would have been very exciting to see. Now, I want you guys to let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about Mikey Williams and Amani Bates and Robert Dillingham? First and foremost, Mikey being injured, do you think it played a huge factor into him taking the L in his most recent game? Or do you think it doesn't matter because he was playing well enough and his team is good enough to catch wins and really get buckets out here without him? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think that was a big factor? As well as Sharife Cooper, how do you think he is doing in his most recent games? Do you think he's going to get drafted or not? I think he's doing very well at this point and is showing why he's going to be a top pick in the NBA draft coming up. Just wait for it. Now, talk about, in addition, his flaws. What do you think he needs to work on in it? What do you think he needs to work on in his game? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. You get a new notification every time I upload a new video. Selling H and I'm out.